What's up, guys? This is Liquid Raven once again with a video about my case, Liquid Raven. So this is basically just how I painted the case, and you're gonna love it. I mean, stick around to the end. It looks amazing, and I'm not gonna disappoint. So, well, if you're excited about it, just skip to the end and you'll see it. But if you want another process, stick with me and I'll show you. So right now, what I'm doing basically is cleaning my case. But before this, I removed all of the paint from the case. And I did different techniques on trying to remove it. And in the end, what worked the best was using a heat gun with a metal spatula. So the heat gun heated up the paint on the case and it made it soft and kind of melt off, shrivel off. But then I used the spatula to scrape it off. And you got to be careful with this because I did kind of burn myself like once or twice doing this. So wear gloves. Make sure you don't burn yourself like I did. Watch out for the temperature because that paint is not going to come off right away unless it's really hot. But you don't want it to be really, really hot because then the paint does some weird things. It's kind of in between, and it kind of guesstimate it. Um, so things that I also tried that did not work and I do not recommend. One of them was using sandpaper. Now, sandpaper works and it works well. It's just that it takes so much time. And if you're doing it like in little grooves, or if you're not doing anything straight, and even if you're doing something like straight, it's just a pain in the ass and it takes a long time to get certain paints off. And sometimes there's layers of paint and it just like it's horrible. So I would use sandpaper, but I've only used it for like little minor detail sort of things that I really couldn't get into with the heat gun. Oh, and before I go on, this is a video of me outside painting the case, and there was a time where there was these wasps. There was just a whole bunch of wasps flying around, and my neighbor had a wasp's nest, and it was kind of crazy. But anyways, the last form of removing the paint that actually it helped a lot, but it was really messy. I did not like it, and I do not recommend it. I had this thing called aircraft remover, and basically it just removes paint. You just brush it on, and then let it sit for a little bit, and then scrape it off. But that stuff just if you get any of it on your skin starts to burn and melt basically. So it was kind of dangerous to use and very messy to use. So my recommendation is to never use that stuff. Even though it works, it's not recommended for me. So after getting all the paint off, you just clean the metal. And I did that with the acetone, like I mentioned before. And yes, use gloves for this. I mean, it's not as bad as the aircraft paint remover, but still use gloves and just pour it on the cloth and then wipe and any dust, anything off of the metal surface. And this just helps it getting ready for the paint as well. So I used Rust-Oleum textured paint, and as you can see right here, it left like little things that kind of clumped up. And I had to just remove them. I think that was a thing because it's textured paint, so when it sprays out, it kind of like textures, and you can see the texture on the case. It's not flat, smooth paint. It's actually textured. So that's just really what I wanted is just a texture. I didn't want a smooth paint, so that's why I went with the Rust-Oleum textured paint. Just to show you guys the process of what I do just for doing all the matrix lettering. Now, of course I use the glow powder. I have a glow powder, and I don't know if you can see, but start to glow, and it won't, you can't really see it unless you charge it up, which I can do. A light, just shine it here. There you go. Do the same thing for this. And there you go. So it lights, it does light up. Same thing with this. So
that's the glow powder, and I just put a little bit in here. Here, I need to put more in there, so I'll do it again. Just open it up. And careful with this stuff. Don't want to spill it. Now it's like a fine powder, so it's like a sand. And I am using a lot, and there's a lot of it that is going to waste, that's not being used. So I want to save as much as I can, because I think that might be barely enough to cover what I have left. So there's this stuff, because at first I was gonna airbrush it, but I figured that when I try to airbrush it, it wouldn't go through the airbrush nozzle, because this powder was not that fine, or to go through the nozzle of the airbrush. So I had to forfeit the airbrush technique of putting it on there. So now I have to put it on with a brush, and I have to basically just brush it on. And this is what I got with the airbrush, so it would stick. It would stick on here, the little grains. So it just mixes with this, and then it just uses heat to get hard, so it won't move. And after I'm done with all of that, I'll put another coat of spray paint. It's gonna be a clear matte, so I'm just gonna spray it. Maybe like three different coats. We'll see. Just so that it doesn't like flake off or anything if I bump into it, or something hard bumps into it, whatever. So I'll give it a couple of coats to protect it a little bit at least. Also, I have something in the mail coming to me for the corners, because the corners, when I put the back part of it on, these corners got damaged. See right there, and it kind of stripped the paint away. So when I put these on here, and I took it off, it stripped the paint away, and I don't think it's enough, or I don't think this is enough to help that, to not make that chip. So there's this the stuff that I got, and hopefully that will help. It's coming in the mail later on. It's used for cars. Actually, to be honest, it's like a film for cars, and you put it on, and it helps cars from getting chipped and stuff. And it stays on the car for forever. But you can if you wish, you could take it off. I'll make a video for it later on. But right now, use this. So I'll get another cup, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll put like a few drops in there. I think I like overdid it. To be honest, I put too many drops in there, because to be honest, I'm gonna take some of this out, because I think it's too much for what I have. So I'm just gonna take it out. There, that's more like 2 drops. I can put some more in there. Okay, that should be good. So I have a little bit in there, as you can see, just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and tap it in there. So I'm going to cover it. A little more extra. And then I will mix it. You guys can see. But I'm going to mix it. And I want to get like a specific consistency. Don't want it too goopy because it will just be goopy when I put it on there. So right now it feels really goopy. Yeah. So I'll put some more. I think that should be it. I'll mix this. So now it's not so goopy, it's a little bit harder. I don't know if you guys can see. But it's better consistency. Yeah. A lot more of what I want.
So I'm just gonna fast forward the video from now on. So you can see I'm using some airbrush stencils and some painter's tape just to keep it on there. And the painter's tape is good so it doesn't, uh, damage any of the paint that I already have on there. And also you saw that I'm heat drying it. So as soon as I, paint it on there, I quickly use a heat gun to harden the mixture that I use with Techno Glow Powder and transparent base from Crytek. The Crytek transparent base just heat hardens when you heat it up. Also, when I used the mixture on the stencils kind of got clogged up. So I would have to come in after maybe one or two uses of it and come in and wash the stencils out just so I can use it again. So it was just kind of tedious during the whole process.
So I'm finally done painting. He's got the two sides, and there's the backs for those, and that's the middle, and the back for the middle. It's really nice. Looks. So it's all done, all good, all painted, all coated, and to help the ends, I've started using this. It's a 3M sort of, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's like a protective coat, and you take it off. I've been using it already on this just for testing. If you can see, I'm just putting it on there so the paint won't come off. I put it in there so whatever makes contact with metal, so it doesn't come off. I already put it on this back side. So when I put it back, I still got to do these. That's why I haven't put them together. So I'll do these. I'll put it like, on the corners. So why don't you guys see this? So I do this every time I come out here to paint. So I don't think I've showed it on camera, but regardless, I was putting in screws, and that's why this is out here, and it's pretty much done. You see the legs on, and some of the screws are on. The thing is, on the top, I kind of fucked up. There's a big screw there, and then the smaller screws, and I kind of put one of the bigger screws in here, and it kind of chipped the paint. So I just put it out here to paint it over again. It's pretty much dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it inside. But I want you guys to see. So I just had to charge from the sun while I was out here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. Just wanted you guys to see that.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to end this video by saying please subscribe and hit that bell icon and like it as much as you want. I think only you can only do it once, really. I'm not pretty positive about that, but do whatever you like. Let's try to get some kind of record of 10 likes, please. Regardless, I'm going to keep going, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it gave you guys some maybe inspiration or some kind of ideas to do something of your own. Um, I'm going to post more of me finishing up my case so you can see how that went. Thanks again. Take it easy. See you around.